Yeah.
Oh,
There we go. We have finally done it. I have no idea what just happened there. Welcome to Living in Tampa Bay live. Like literally, holy wow, I have no idea what just happened there. But we are excited to be with y'all. We have not been on in 3 weeks. We haven't been with you guys. So welcome. Forgive the delay there. We are having some technical challenges. Of course, that's the way it's going to work on your first night back. But we are excited to be with y'all. If this is your first time joining us here at Living in Tampa Live, we talk about all things Tampa Bay, what it's like to live here, what it's like to work here, what it's like to play here. Talk about the food, the dining, the outdoors, the beaches, and the sunshine. I am joined by my amazing co-host, who I have missed. I've been gone for 3 weeks, but I have some incredible people with me this evening. I got Miss Marsha Railton down in Bradenton, Sarasota area. What is up, Marsha? Good evening.
Hi. I've missed you guys too. It's weird not doing this every week and not talking to you pretty much daily when you're in town. So
Right.
we all went through withdrawals.
Well, I appreciate that, and thanks for letting me know. And we're also joined by Miss Stacy Amon up in Pasco County, the Wesley Chapel, San Antonio area up there. Good evening.
Good evening. Happy Tuesday. Feels
Happy
like it's much longer than 3 weeks.
Happy to. It did feel like a while, and that was actually a really good thing. And forgive us for not streaming on all of our other platforms, y'all. We were having some technical challenges as we got kicked off, but we are here live on YouTube, so we're happy to be with you guys. I'm excited. 3 weeks vacation is awesome, but I'm chomping at the bit to start talking about what is happening locally. And tonight, I'm going to give you guys a national real estate and local real estate update. So we're going to get into that. My big promise for you guys tonight is by the time this episode completes, you will have a very good handle on what's happening in real estate, whether you live in the Pacific Northwest, the Midwest, the Northeast, or here in the South with us. And if you are considering making that jump to the area, just know that we would love to be your real estate team of choice, and we're happy to serve. So we're going to get into that. Ladies, I went to Asheville, North Carolina, which is a beautiful place to visit, y'all. I'm telling you right now, if you've never been there, that is a wonderful community. College town, exciting place to go hang out. Went to Michigan to go see family. We spent 2 weeks up there. We went all the way up to up here.
Close to where I'm from. You're like a half hour from Sheboygan, Michigan, which is where I'm from.
It was so far north. We were like, I don't even know, 20 hours north of where we live or something insane like that.
Did you feel like you were in Canada?
It felt ridiculous. It was cold at night, and I'm okay with cool, but it got cold. And,
it did.
In July, that's a no bueno for me. Not okay, right? So I was happy to get home and sweat a little bit, so excited to do that. Y'all, we would love to know where you're watching from. If you've never joined us on these live streams before, we love to keep these interactive, okay? If you have questions about what's happening here in Tampa or about, specifics, whether it's a builder or community, just anything in general, know that we're happy to answer those questions. But one of the things we love to do is connect with our audience. So please let us know where you are watching from. Okay. If you'd like to connect with us offline or off YouTube, I should say, you can connect with us. Our Instagram handles are on the screen there. You've got Miss Stacy Amon.realtor there. You've got at Marsha Railton, and then mine is at Juan.Alcala.realtor. Believe it or not, there are more than one Alcalas on this planet, and they had already sucked up the the handle there. So I had to put the dots in. But I'm excited, y'all. I know, Marsha, you've got some stuff planned for us tonight in Lakewood Ranch and down in the Bradenton, Sarasota area there. Stacy's got some things planned for us in Pasco County. And y'all, I watched almost 3 hours of planning commission meetings today. I know that sounds exciting, doesn't it? Right?
Wow.
What area?
Pinellas County, which for those of you who are unaware is the Gulf beaches. So that's going to be Clearwater, St. Petersburg. So just kind of a frame of reference. And then Pasco County. And they were so different. And this is not going to be a planning commission YouTube. They have those channels. You can go watch them. But the reason that we're watching those is because we want you guys to be in the know. Okay. I want you to be aware of what's happening. And part of my commitment to our audience is making sure that you know where the puck is going. What is coming up? What commercial buildings are that? When's the Target going to be built? Where's the Costco going to go? Like, we want to make sure that you guys are aware of those things. And those two meetings couldn't have been more different. They could not have been more different. Listening to, and they were both run really well, by the way. I was actually very impressed with how well they were ran. But the differences from Pasco County, Marcia, as an example, to Pinellas County, we didn't talk. There was not one conversation about new construction developments that happened in a 2.5-hour meeting, right? Pasco County, that's all they talked about. Right. For 2.5 hours, that's all they talked about was these new construction developments. And, you had locals who were definitely, not necessarily in perfect favor with developers coming in and building new things. But this is the nature of growth. It really is one of those things. It's a love-hate for a lot of people. Right. We love getting new things, as most people do. We love having access to great amenities, but that does come at a cost, right? You're moving things, you're moving dirt, you're impacting people's lives. So it was interesting to see those questions and how people felt about those developments taking place. And then when you got to Pinellas County, I actually watched the entire budget meeting today. And great news, they are reducing our millage rates for the 3rd year in a row. That the only complaint I have is it doesn't match the increase in values. And one of the board members was like, "Hey, this is great that you're taking a 3% reduction in millages, which is awesome, by the way, right? Like they're not asking us for more money like everybody else is." But he's like, it's going up 9% in total, so really we're getting a 6% reduction, right? He's like, yes. Like, all right, well, at least we're going in the right direction. So that's 3 years of reduced millages in Pinellas County. So Jonathan, I know you're watching right now. We got another tax reduction in millages, my man. I'm excited for that. So happy to be connecting with you guys. And again, let us know where you're watching from. Love to connect with you guys. Tonight we got Jonathan Santos, who is local here. I believe he lives in Largo, real close to me. We got Janice up in Wisconsin. Good evening, Wisconsin. Hopefully you guys are drying out. You guys had a ton of rain as I was heading up north there. It was crazy. Dams were breaking. All kinds of stuff was happening up there. Hope everybody is safe up in northern Wisconsin there, and things are going well for you guys. So happy to get into that. But let's get into some real estate talk, ladies. You ready?
Ready?
Ready? All right. We're going to talk about some real estate. I want to share some things with you guys because with the audience here, because ladies, we've done over 230 Zoom calls this year. Insane, by the way, with people who are considering relocating to the area. And if that is you, feel free to connect with us. All of our contact information is down below, including a link to my calendar where you can do that. But during those calls, we get a lot of questions, right? And a lot of questions about the crystal ball. They're like, Juan, we need you to be the genie. Tell us what's going to happen in real estate, which is one of my least favorite questions, right? Now, do I love talking about real estate? Absolutely, right? Do I love being the genie in the bottle and making predictions about things that can completely change in a heartbeat? Absolutely not. It makes me uncomfortable. But what I do love to do is share with people the information so they can make qualified decisions. And that is one of the funnest things that I get to do when helping people and they're considering buying a home or selling a home or whatever it is. That, we just love to help people be informed. An informed client is absolutely the best client. And I love to nerd out about what's going on in real estate. And we've gotten so many questions, right? For 2.5 years, we've heard people get on calls with us and say, we would love to, but we think we should wait. Or, what do you think we should do with this? And, that question often comes up, and it's a great question. And for 2.5 years, I have been sharing that I did not believe that the real estate market was going to crash. And I back it up with data, and I'm going to do that tonight. Okay. Now, my belief is based upon the information that I'm receiving. Okay. And I don't just rely on one source. I'm going to show you guys a few sources tonight. But I study this every morning. I wake up, I look at the articles, I read the rags, I'm looking at the data. It's fun for me. I know that sounds twisted, right? I know that sounds twisted, but it is fun. I like to see, I want to know where the puck is going, right? I have a family. We're investing in real estate. We need to be aware, right? And if I'm aware, you can be too. So, and I know this about my audience. You guys watch the doomsday real estate crash callers. You watch them. You know how I know? Because YouTube tells me that you watch them before or after you watch my videos, which is fascinating, right? And these guys, if you go back 4 or 5 years, they've been screaming since then that the real estate market was going to crash. Don't worry, they'll be right one day. I don't know when that's going to be. They don't either. Right? And whatever that crash means to you, right? But like, it's fascinating. Meanwhile, back in the real world where things are actually taking place, we're nowhere near that. And what do I mean? I'm going to share some information with you guys right now. So buckle up. It's time to get on the know when it comes to real estate. Again, let us know where you're watching from, guys. We love to be interactive. Don't hesitate to interject or ask questions during this time period, because I love sharing this, but I love interacting with you guys even more. Okay. So we're going to start out with reality. Okay. Going right to the Wall Street Journal for y'all, so you can check this out here. But home prices hit a record high. And I know everybody is feeling the pinch in home affordability. This is not, that's not a laughing matter. It's real life, but this is where we are in the United States. So while everybody's out there predicting gloom and doom and have been for years, we still have to deal in reality. The reality is home prices have not gone down, which is fascinating. Now, I want to be very specific about the language that I'm going to use, because I know people see things and they like to react, and that's okay. But I want you to hear me when I say this, because home values, okay, and home prices are different. That's the first thing I want you to be aware of, okay? And asking prices, meaning what sellers are asking for their home and what homes sell for, are typically different. But it's very, you need to be cautious when you read these headlines, because sometimes you'll read like home prices are crashing. Well, the reality is prices for existing homes rose to $419,000 in May. And that is another record high in the United States. So that is fascinating when you think about that, okay? Home prices rose in May to a new high, with low inventory continuing to spur bidding wars among home buyers in some markets. That's the thing I want you to hear. I want you guys to hear me clearly. In some markets, not all. So that is very important to understand. But what I want you to take away is in May, and I know we're in July and people are like, well, what's going on? We won't get June's home price. We won't get that information released till almost the end of this month. The third week is typically when we receive that. So next week, we'll start getting that data in, okay? And that's because it takes some time for some of these rural counties in America to record the home sales. And we want to have accurate information, so that's why. Okay, so just giving you that. So that's first thing, all right? Now, when it comes to Tampa, right, like Juan, that's great across the United States. And I want you guys to look at where you live. This is Redfin. They do an excellent job of aggregating that and pulling that information together. And you can type in your city. I'll show you. Let me go back to the original page here. If you go to redfin.com/city, you can put this in there. Okay.
You can't see what you're looking at.
Oh, no, let me share it with you. Okay. So if we go back to, where's the Redfin? Oh no, I lost my, let me get you guys there. I want to make sure everybody sees the actual source. I don't want you guys thinking that we're manipulating anything. Okay. So if you go to redfin.com/US housing market, I'm going to put this right in the chat for everybody, so you guys will have access to it. Boom. It's in there for you. All right. So when you come in here, it'll show you the United States housing market. Okay. And then you can type in your specific city. I love this tool. Okay. So whatever city in America you live into, as long as it's a decent sized metro, you'll be able to pull it. Okay. So when we go to Tampa, again, we just talked about the U.S. housing prices, which hit an all-time record high of $419,300 in May. And then as we come over to Tampa, what is happening here? Our home prices are at $460,000. And this is the thing I want people to caution about. We have been getting more and more calls and, hey, we heard that your real estate market is crashing in Florida. Well, you heard incorrectly. Okay. Did you hear some areas that's happened? Absolutely. There are markets like Cape Coral, Venice, south of Sarasota, Southwest Florida is definitely, the prices have a lot of downward pressure on them. But what I want you guys to take note of is what's happening here in Tampa. Okay. In Tampa, we are up 7.7% year over year. That is, we are a long way away from a crash. Okay. If that's the case, and we are at another record high. Okay. I'm showing you a 3-year chart right now. This goes all the way back to 2019. Let me go back even further, back to 2020. Okay. The big thing to take note of is our median price here in Tampa is up to $460, 7.7% year over year. We're actually up in home sales for the first time. You see this bottom over here. I want to show you this chart really quick. Look, I mean, home sales were going down, and this is what people were calling like, hey, it looks like your market's crashing or it's stalling. And again, when you look at inventory and numbers, you got to kind of wrap your mind around what's happening. But as you can see, we've had this heavy spike over the last 3 months again, and now we're starting to trend in a positive direction, 7.7% again. Okay, so I want to make sure that everybody's tracking with us. Okay, that's what's happening here in Tampa. You know me, I'm happy to break down all of our local markets. But I want to just give you a general overview tonight. And again, talk about our macro, which is the United States housing market, and then also what's happening here local. Our home sales are starting to increase again, but our inventory is increasing here, y'all. So I'm going to get into that here in a second. I want to talk about the downward pressure on pricing because I do think that is important. Let me reset this because my little marker thing's throwing it all off. Okay, there we go. All right. And then as you come down and look at other things in Tampa, here's the thing I want you guys to take note of also. All right. The sale to list price. Well, what does that mean? Okay. That means if someone is asking $100,000 for their home right now, on average in Tampa, they're getting $97,300 for that $100,000 listing. It's the easiest way for me to break it down. Does that make sense, ladies?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Super simple, right? Okay. Now that's across all home types, but what about other home types, right? Because we've talked about the condo market here in Florida. It's not good. Okay. But you're seeing us come out of this dip, which is interesting, right? When we go to single family homes, a single family home is a normal home that you and I would live in that is attached to another property. Same thing there, 97.3. So that average is carrying across the board there. All right. So just so you guys have awareness of it. All right. Now I want to get into the other stuff because if you're watching those crash callers, I want to help you guys better understand why those people are out of their mind. Okay. And I'm saying it out loud here. You guys have been on these live streams with us when people have challenged the fact that I'm out here trying to sell you a bag of goods. And just so we're clear, Juan and his team aren't here to sell you anything. All right. Everyone needs a roof over their head. Whether you choose to rent or you choose to own, that's entirely up to you. Right. There is no doubt that people who own real estate have more wealth. Go look at the statistics. Don't believe me. And I'm not going to show them to you now. I want you to do your own research on purpose. OK, just so you know. Right. So that's not our goal or our focus here. We're just here to help and give some advice. All right. So that's the first thing. I want to check in, though. We do have a regular view. Adam, what's up, my man?
Adam.
Are y'all out dancing tonight? What are you doing? We want to know. Right. And for those of you that don't know, Adam and his lovely bride are almost they're like pros. They're pro dancers. They're going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it. Excited to connect with you guys. We've got Carl. What's up, Carl? They're aloha, Marcia, Stacy, and Juan. Yeah, from Kona, Hawaii. Sorry, a bit late to the party. We are happy you are here. And
Carl, you're moving here, Juan.
I was just getting ready to say the lovely and talented Miss Marcia Railton was able to really help this family, and I'm excited for there to be able to make it. Where did we find them a place? What city?
Seminole.
That's right. So they're right.
Yeah,
they're right by
nice.
me.
The only holdup is Carl said it's taking a long time to get their stuff shipped here from Hawaii. So that's I think is biggest obstacle. But I think they're going to be happy where they're at, and they're an awesome couple.
Yep, they are. And Carl, you're so close. Be careful. I might show up on that doorstep, buddy. Ask for dinner. Excited. Thank you for allowing us to serve your family. We appreciate you guys. It was awesome. Marcia had a great time. Trust me, I heard all about it. So it was great. Adam says Diana's working tonight. Okay. So You're practicing solo. I understood. Marsha's a real gem. Thank you. We agree.
Thank you.
Yeah, we all feel blessed to have her in our lives, so we appreciate that. All right, so leaving off where we were, we talked about the United States home prices hitting an all-time high. We talked about Tampa home prices being up 7.7%. And then I wanted to talk about the crash caller specifically. And I want to help you guys. All right. The information I'm sharing with you is all public tonight. There's no gatekeeping behind real estate, like specific websites or anything like that. Like this is public information. So I shared Wall Street Journal so far, Redfin so far, which I put in the chat for you guys. And then now I want to talk about a company called Atom. This is a really good company that they are like one of the premier data companies for real estate information. So much so that a lot of the large hedge funds will use their data to make decisions about what they're going to do in real estate investment trusts and things like that. So this is from Atom, ATTOM. All right, for those of you who weren't aware, you can see it at the top there. But this is what I want to get into, because these are the headlines that you guys see, and everybody starts making noise, right? Real estate foreclosures are up 100%. Well, okay, what 100% from what? Right? If you had 2 foreclosures last year and now you've got 4, you're correct. That's 100%, right? But what does that really mean in terms of foreclosure? So again, great headline, because that's what writers get paid to do. U.S. foreclosure activity increases in quarterly in Q1 of 2024. But let's get into the actual data, what this says and actually means. All right. So here's where I want to start. Foreclosure starts increase nationwide. Now we need to understand what a start is. A foreclosure start that means they're starting the process of foreclosure. That doesn't mean a home has been foreclosed on. That means the process has begun. And in the United States, that means you need to stop paying your mortgage for a specific amount of time. Okay, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, then they move you into foreclosure. Okay. Technically, you're in pre-foreclosure in the United States when you don't pay your mortgage on day 2 of the month. Just so everybody knows. Right? And Zillow used to put that on their website all the time, which is crazy. But here's what I want you to be aware of. A total of 67,000 U.S. properties started the foreclosure process in Q1. That was up 2% from the previous quarter and up 4% from a year ago. Okay, so that's what I want you to be aware of. Now, I want you to see this chart so we can start to put things actually into perspective. Ladies, can you guess what time period this is here?
2008.
Crash. Yeah.
2008, 2009. Okay, so that is something to be mindful of, right? Now, the bottom of our real estate market was actually in 2012 in terms of pricing. Not foreclosures, but that was the bottom of the actual market, okay? Foreclosures were going up here, right? They were ramping up, and that's what got us to the big crash and down. But what I want you to take note of is what happened in 2013 and after. All right. Ladies, will you do me a favor? We got some delay on YouTube tonight. Can you mute yourself until I ask you a question, if you don't mind?
Sure.
Yep.
You just get a little bit of feedback. All right. So as we look through 2013 and beyond, 2019, 2020, well, we all know what happened here. The bug hit everybody, and this shut down the world, and they made it. And the government said you cannot foreclose on people. Right? They literally stopped the foreclosure process. You cannot foreclose on people. And that process lasted a little while, a couple years actually, right? And then we came out of it, forbearance, and then we started rocking and rolling again. But here's what I want everybody to take note of, and I'm going to keep drawing here. This is 22. This is Q4 of 22. This is Q4 of 23. This is Q2 of 23, and then now we're into 24. We're not even back to 2018 levels, which most people would consider a normal market. That's the last normal market that we really remember, 2018, 2019. We're not even back to those levels, y'all. And coming up off the floor, numbers sound really big. So when we talk about, this is just foreclosure starts. This isn't actual foreclosures. That's what I want you to be aware of. You got to be mindful of the language that people are using when they're coming at you with this stuff. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then where are the highest foreclosure rates right now? So Delaware, New Jersey, South Carolina, Now, foreclosure filings. Okay, so what is a foreclosure filing? A foreclosure filing is when the bank actually goes to the courthouse, right? And now they're going to move forward with the actual foreclosure. They are filing with the county. And again, this chart, if you look at it, looks very similar to the one we just looked at, right, ladies?
Yes.
Right? Very similar. Okay. But again, I want you to take note of what has been happening here once we came out of this. This does not count, this area here, right? That would they weren't even allowed to foreclose. Go back to 2018-19 again, right? I should have used a different color here, forgive me. But here we are. Here we are. Foreclosures are actually going down, right? These are the filings. So again, this isn't an actual foreclosure. This is the start of the process with the court. The first beginning of the process is when you don't make the payment. Then once you don't make a payment for 90 days, now they go to the court and say, we want to foreclose on this property. That is a filing. Okay, so that's the next thing I want you to be aware of. Again, you can find this information on Adam. I'm going to put this in the chat right now for y'all. My goal here is not to convince anyone of anything. Please hear me. I want you to read this information and make decisions that best suit your interest. Okay? Just so everybody has clarity on what we're trying to accomplish tonight. All right. Now I want to get into repossessions, and we're going to go even further, right? So bank repossessions increased 7% from last quarter. Okay. What does that mean? Lenders repossessed 10,000 homes in the United States. Okay. Real estate owned now. In Q1 of 2024, up 7% from the previous quarter. But they are down 20% from a year ago. Hold on. Oh, hold on. But Juan, we were told that real estate is crashing and that foreclosures are going through the roof. Well, month to month they're up. But here's where things really start to get interesting. So I want to let's walk with the crash callers for 1 second. Let me get in a boat with those guys who believe that real estate is going to crash. Let's just say that I can get on their team, even though all the data so far does not support that argument. But let me jump in that boat with them. Okay, real estate's going to crash. Got ya. Let's jump in that boat. Well, how long does it take to foreclose on a property? That would probably be some pretty important things to understand, right? Because once a filing takes place, meaning they didn't pay, then the bank went to the court and filed for a foreclosure. Now, depending on what state you live in, there is a redemption period. And what I mean by a redemption period, and forgive the language here, that means literally that you as a homeowner are able to pay off what you weren't able to pay before and redeem that property from the foreclosure process. And it's different in every state. In Florida, that's as little as 30 days. In Michigan, where I'm from originally, it's 180. Y'all, do you think in states where they are not favorable to eminent domain or tend to be a lot more liberal, that process could take longer? States like New York, Illinois, and this isn't to argue politics, just to understand the approach, okay? But here's what I want you guys to know. Properties foreclosed in Q1 of 2024 had been in the foreclosure process for an average of 736 days. While this marks a slight increase from the previous quarter, it represents a 20% decrease from the same time last year. Okay. So again, I just want to make sure we're tracking in the same direction, right? For those crash callers out there, and feel free to jump on my live streams. I'm happy to have you on as a guest, and we can bang this out all day. Okay. The United States is hitting record home prices. Now, I'm not saying that that's a good thing, and I'm not saying they're going to continue that way. I want you guys to hear me loud and clear. Okay. But it is a fact, right? Foreclosures are down. The activity has increased, but the actual filings is down year over year. And how long it takes to make that happen. So again, if I can jump in the boat, if I can get in their party of, yeah, real estate's going to crash, that means that if everything collapses on itself today, it takes 2.5 years. Right? Sorry, 2 years, 365, 2 years to go get it for someone to actually take possession of that house. Remember, it said the bank took possession of 10,000 homes. It took them 736 days to make that happen on average. And what do you think is going to happen, ladies, if foreclosures actually go up? Do you think that the amount of days is going to go down or up? If courts have more things to do courts get faster?
No.
No, it slows down, right? So I just want, like, y'all, hopefully you're tracking with me. I know I'm bringing some stuff here. I'm nerding out a little bit, but I just want you to understand the facts, not the speculation. And I'm not telling you which direction real estate is going to go. That's not what I'm here to do tonight. I'm here to present the facts, and I want you to make educated decisions on what makes the most sense for you and your situation. Whether that's purchasing, whether that's investing, whether that's leasing, I don't care. But my goal here is to help you guys win. All right. So that's the first thing. So we talked about home prices. So I'm going to go back and just do a quick recap. Home prices in the United States hit a record high, 419,000 in May. Again, we only have May's data. June's data will come out next week. Okay. In Tampa, where we reside, 460,000, up 7.7% year over year. And you can see on the tail end here, we're going back up again. Okay. And again, I'm not here to tell you they're going to continue to go up. I just want you to see what is actually happening. All right. So that is the next thing I wanted to talk about there. All right. Now, moving over to foreclosures. All right. We just talked about this. Foreclosure activity is up. No doubt about it. But the actual amount of foreclosures is down 7% year over year. Okay. So just so everybody is clear, down 20% from a year ago. Forgive me. Okay, so that's what I want everybody to be aware of. All right, now I want to get into some other data that I think is pretty cool to share. Juan, why haven't home prices crashed? I don't understand, right? I don't understand why aren't home prices crashed. It doesn't make any sense. Interest rates have been through the roof for 2 years, literally for 2 years. When interest rates go up, home prices shall go down. Yes, you're not incorrect. In theory, that's the way it is supposed to work, right? It is absolutely supposed to work that way. And but our housing market operates solely off of supply and demand. Is it dramatically impacted by the interest rates? Yes. And I want you guys to be aware that we've sold the least amount of houses over the last 2 years. We've sold less homes than we have in the last 20. Okay. So we're in a housing recession. We're just not in a housing correction or a housing crash. There's a difference. Okay. It's slow. Homes aren't moving as fast. And you guys can see that unless you live in the Northeast or an area where your inventory is really, really tight and you guys are still getting multiple offers, like we said earlier, you're most likely seeing the inverse. Okay. Now, what are you looking at? You are looking at, let me make this bigger. You are looking at active U.S. housing inventory, okay, according to Realtor.com. So this is public information. You can go check this out. And what I want you to be aware of is, again, go back to normal times, 2018, 2019, like we were talking about earlier. Oh, man, I just blew that all up. Forgive me, y'all. Like we were talking about earlier, we said that those are normal time periods, okay? This is today's inventory right here. Inventory is not exploding. And I know people are telling you it is exploding, and it is in certain areas. It is up where we live, and I'll explain why here in a second, right? But until this goes way up here, you're not going to have prices crash or have a major correction across the United States broadly. Again, real estate is local. You could be somewhere where that is actually happening, but in the United States, that is not occurring, and it's because we don't have enough supply. Now, Juan, you're telling me we don't have enough supply, but why should I believe you? Don't. I'm asking you not to believe me right now, okay? Is it fair to trust Zillow? I have my opinions about Zillow, but they're using information from sites like Adam, which I just showed you another public resource, right? And census information, the U.S. government. Trust them or not, that's up to you. I don't care, right? But the Census Bureau is the place we're supposed to trust. They're the ones that allegedly have the information that they share with everybody we're supposed to trust, right? This is from June 18th of 2024, just last month, right? Just last month. The U.S. is now short 4.5 million homes as the housing deficit grows, Okay. From 2021 to 2022, the U.S. housing shortage grew to 4.5 million from 4.3 million. All right. So again, we need more supply of housing if we're going to get prices down, or you're going to have a crash. Supply and demand, y'all. This is how this works. Okay. So that's the first thing I want you to see. Again, going back to active inventory. Go slideshow here again. Make it bigger for those old eyes like mine. Like I said, housing inventory is increasing in specific areas. Okay. Our area is one of them. And what I mean by area, the state of Florida, we've increased by 71% from our, from June of 2023. That's a huge increase. Again, it can sound like a massive number, but what does that number actually mean? Well, here in Tampa, we're just now starting to get back to those 2019, 28 numbers. So we're actually coming into a stable amount of inventory, the correct amount of inventory to supply our community. But I just showed you our home prices are up 7.7%. Don't take my word for it. Here's the facts, right? So just be aware of what's happening out there. All right. So that's another thing I want to share with you. Okay. Now, here's where I want to go deeper on this foreclosure stuff. So you guys, when those crash callers start bumping their gums, you can know what information to look for, right? So I want you to come over here. Ladies, can you tell me what that slide says? What is the title of that slide?
Mortgage-free homeowners.
And what does that mean, Miss Stacy? And I'm not trying to make anybody feel small here.
Mortgage-free homeowner.
Yeah, if this sounds condescending, please don't take it that way, y'all. I'm sorry here. I'm just so tired of people telling people that the world is going to end, right? This means almost 40% of the homes owned in the United States, and this is according to the U.S. Census Bureau, do not have a mortgage on them. So for everyone waiting for the world to collapse, first thing, we just showed you a slide that said the U.S. is short 4.5 million homes. The next thing we're showing you is how many of the existing homes don't even have a mortgage on them. And I don't know about you guys, there are very few tax foreclosures that take place in this country. Very few. I know there are some. People pick them up. I get it. But is there enough to make a housing crash? Not even close. And what do I mean by that? Right? Some people can't afford to pay their taxes. That's how their homes get foreclosed, even if they don't have a mortgage on them. It does happen. Absolutely does happen. Right? But wow, 40%. Okay. So what about the other 60%, Juan? They can't afford to pay their mortgages. Well, is that true? I don't know. I know a lot. Out of the 230 conversations we've had this year, ladies, how many conversations have we had with people who have had 2.75 interest rates or 3.5% interest rates? They own a $400,000 or $500,000 home or a $800,000 home, and their mortgage is like $1,800 a month or $3,200 a month on a huge asset. We have a lot of those conversations, don't we? Right. And last time I checked, in America, that means that you can probably pay your mortgage working at McDonald's. Okay, so we need people to be out of jobs, which unemployment is taking up, but the economy is still really strong according to the government, right? I just want to make sure we're all in the same place, right? And I want you to understand, interest rates on outstanding mortgages, this means it's a home with a mortgage. I just showed you 40% of the United States doesn't even have a mortgage. Now we're talking about the homes that actually have mortgages on them, okay? 76% of the borrowers in the United States have interest rates under 5%. Holy wow. And look at the number of homeowners that have interest rates 3% or less, 3 to 4%. And this is why I want you guys to understand that the likelihood of a real estate crash because of prices is not that's not probable. Can a real estate crash happen because of other things? A global economic, of course, that means the economy collapsed. But what I want you to understand is fundamentally, real estate is extremely sound. And I'm not even going to get into the quality of borrowers right now. We're at the highest we've ever been in terms of credit scores on borrowers. We're at the highest down payments we've ever seen. And again, I'm not going to hit you with every slide under the sun. Okay, guys, but I can do this for days, 4 days. All right. So going even further here. So mortgage rates under 5%, right? So where are we at today? Where are we at today? Why is this a problem? Well, interest rates are finally starting to go in the right direction, but they are still extremely high. Remember, 70% of US homeowners have interest rates under 5%. If you own a home and you have a mortgage rate at 3%, do you have any interest in exchanging that for one that is almost 7%? Go ahead. I'll wait. Most people do not, unless they are moving to their dream, or they are moving because they have to. Death, divorce, illness, right? Those types of things. Adding a child, that is usually something that spurs along, right? So this is the thing I want y'all to just kind of wrap your mind around. Now, this is going in a positive direction. That's good. You see this positive down here? This is one of my favorite things to see. It's positive. We have a positive rate trend, right? And that's important. Why? Because the Federal Reserve is starting to see some things that lean towards the fact that they are going to start to cut interest rates. Remember, unemployment is starting to tick up, but wage growth is still strong. The PCE and this is where I get, let me take a step back. The things that the Federal Reserve looks at, they're starting to look at it and say, you know what? We think the economy is starting to cool down enough to where we can start to pull back on interest rates. Okay. Don't take my word for it. Why is the stock market, and I'm going to the top of this for a reason. Forgive me. Let me go back over here before I get to the Federal Reserve. You see all these green, right? Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ, everybody's up. Why is everybody up? Because they believe that this guy right here is about to start pulling back on rates. So much so that they see 100% chance that they are going to cut rates in September. Now, I'm not here telling you that that's going to be the case. I want everybody to hear me. Juan is not telling you today that real estate values are going to continue to decrease exponentially. Juan is not telling you today that interest rates are going to get cut in September. That is not what I'm doing today. What I'm doing today is sharing information with you to help you make qualified decisions about the future. Because here's what I want you to know. If real estate values get somewhere near that 5% interest range again, you're going to be in a market full of human beings who have been waiting for 2.5 years to purchase homes. And I don't know if that means it's going to be crazy talk again, but I know one thing for sure. There have been a lot of people waiting on the sidelines to purchase. There's going to be more competition. So with all of that being said, if you're considering selling right now, actually might be a very good time. Okay. It needs to be a good time for you, not a good time for anybody else. Okay. But if you're considering selling, why? Because buying, you have a lot of options, especially here in the greater Tampa Bay area. We have builders. Our inventory has increased. We are seeing downward pressure on pricing, even though I showed you right at the beginning of this that Tampa is up 7.7% year over year. Again, don't take my word for it. It's right here. You can go to Redfin and find it for yourself. Okay. That's not the intent. But what I wanted to do tonight is I wanted to arm my audience with actual information that can help you make good decisions about your future, your family's future, and then you can make qualified decisions. I hope this helped. I know I went tangent here for a minute. We lost Marcia. Marcia quit on us. She wasn't interested in the conversation, but I want to share this with y'all. And for those of you in the audience, guys, I'm going to check in with you right now. Absolutely grateful to share with this. I used to do this all the time, but I realized that this is pretty heady. Okay. And I do my best to try to keep it at a sane level for everyone. Because I absolutely love getting into this information. And it's for nothing other than the fact that I like knowing where the puck is going. I love to serve our clients. We need to be prepared. If the market's going sideways, I need to be able to tell you that, right? Again, I'm investing in real estate also. I want to know where the puck is going. So I hope this helped. Let me know in the chat if you guys like this type of info. Okay. 2 things I want to offer you. I am willing to do this weekly, but not on this live stream because it's too much. Okay. We love to deliver local information to you guys, talk about new developments, what's hot, what's happening in the street. Okay. I will do this once a month for this audience. No problem. But if you would like, I can do this and personalize it for you, meaning that just jump on our email list, right? So go to the website there and register, and then I will email you this update weekly. Okay. So that way you can absolutely be informed, right? Absolutely be informed. Stacy, too much? Too much?
I think that depends on who you're talking to.
Okay, all right. Let me sure. Let me check in with everybody. We got somebody.
I'm sure Adam is loving this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, my people. That's why, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me check in with everybody here. Carl says, now he's speaking in Spanish, right? You're welcome. Appreciate that. And while you're here, I know a great condo that will be listed for sale in the near future. That's right. There'll be a condo in Hawaii, and we're heading that way too. So that's fantastic. Daniel says hello from California. What's up, Daniel? Thank you for connecting and checking in, my man. Appreciate you. Chris, what's up, my brother? Hope you guys are doing well. They're awesome, by the way. And I know you guys are loving it out there. I see the missus photos from the pool deck on Instagram, the whole thing. I was like, oh, somebody's really enjoying it out there. Freckled one says nope. And I know you were responding to one of the comments I made at that point. So forgive me. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I appreciate that. How can I get a 3 to 3.5? You can't, my man. Well, that's not true. There are ways. You could assume someone's mortgage, but that is way easier said than done. Okay. But if they have an assumable mortgage like an FHA or a VA, it can be done. So just be aware of that. So Chris says, I exchanged my 2.89 to 5.5 so I can move to Tampa and leave California. Yay. My man. Like I said, those who get to will do it. Right. So absolutely. Adam says 95% plus expected 3 rate cuts this year. Yeah, that's a big number. I mean, the market really responded this week positively to what they expect to happen there. I wrote that before you said it. Exactly. It's okay. It's okay, my man. That's good. We love the contribution. Do not be afraid to contribute to these conversations. Okay. Let me read these because I do need to proofread them now, Stacy, based upon what's been happening recently. Hi, Juan and team, getting serious about moving to the greater Tampa area in just a few weeks, mainly looking in St. Pete, specifically Distant Heights. Love that. Went back to visit in March and felt like St. Pete was a vibe. It is a vibe. That's the word I use all the time, dude. That is perfect word for what I see in St. Pete. I love it there too. Not sure if I'll be renting an apartment or going for a house because the father wants to move down to Florida with me. I currently live in Long Island. He's Middle Connecticut. Yeah. Well, let us know if you need help, man. We're here to help. Again, all of our contact info scrolling across the screen. You guys can schedule a time that's most convenient for you. I'm happy to serve you and your family if that's what it comes to. Jay, take over the mortgage here in Boston. It's 3%, so I can move to Florida. Yes, absolutely. Like I'm sure, dude. I'm telling you right now, people would love to do it. You know, the conventional doesn't work because it's got the due on sale clause. And then Carl says, "Ikomo mai," which is Hawaiian language for welcome. Come visit. Love that. That's great. That's great. Awesome. Okay. Whew. I went crazy. Marcia texted and said that her computer had a meltdown. So she's out of pocket here for a minute, but I know we went really long on that. And I want to ask you guys, if you have questions about Tampa or, new developments, this is the place to come ask. Okay. Whether you're watching live or you're watching in later, we want you to feel comfortable doing that. So don't hesitate to come check this out. Again, I'm happy to do these kind of breakdowns and keep you guys abreast of what's happening in the marketplace. But we really love to answer your guys' questions. That's what made these streams so powerful for us. Right. So really happy to make those connections. Stacy, what do you got going on up in Pasco right now that you'd like to share with the community? And Pasco County is the county just north of Hillsborough, which is where Tampa is. So it's part of the greater Tampa Bay area.
Yep. Well, Angeline is the other lagoon community that is coming. Well, they already have developed, but I know a lot of our clients have been waiting for them to start their single family developing. So that's finally coming. I actually got an invitation to go out to Angeline next week. So nice. I'll get all the goods on that to see who the builders are and prices and all that fun stuff. And then in Zephyr Hills, Wesley Chapel area, Two Rivers is another fabulous community that we have been talking a lot about. Mm-hmm. Pulte just posted their prices and floor plans. They haven't said when they are going to start selling, but they've at least posted prices. So they're going to start, which they're one of those builders that have that starting price. And then you have to add the home site and all your upgrades, but they're going to start at $350 and looks like they're going to go all the way up into $650.
So that's not including the lot premium or any additions that you guys make to it. So we want to be very clear on what that actually means. Marcia's back.
Marcia's back.
Guess who's back? Back again. Yeah. Happy to have you. Let me pull that up really quick, Stacy. I was
sorry about that.
That's okay. It's gonna happen. We had a technical difficulty to start, and we just kept rolling tonight, so it's fine. Don't stress. Yeah. So Two Rivers, we got the Pulte information. We got coming soon. Did you get a specific email about this, Stacy? Is that how you knew?
Yeah, I got an email that announced it, and then it just sent me to their website that you're looking at right now.
Okay, perfect. So the pricing is on there then. That's what I was trying to get to. Yeah. Legacy. Okay. Legacy series. So the 2 to 3 bedrooms, those are going to be the ones starting at that 350 range.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yes.
Plus lots going up to 650. So with lot premium and everything else, we're probably going to be closer 750 to 8. Would you guess?
Yeah, okay. For sure.
All right, that makes sense.
Looks like your website doesn't have the prices on them.
It doesn't. That's what I'm saying. And you know why that's important, y'all? The reason I'm bringing this up is because Stacy is in the know. This woman her and Marcia are out here building houses all over Tampa Bay, and they are connected, right? This is my team, and I don't get the information that they do. So I'm kind of offended, first and foremost. And I bring that up to you guys because if you want that info, connect with us. Go to the website, register, shoot us a message. Go to these ladies' Instagram handles. You can see right on the screen. Send them a DM. Hey, Stacy, I'd love to know more about the Pulte homes in Two Rivers. Hey, Marcia, I would love to know more about the West Bay homes in Lakewood Ranch, right? Like, just let them know. This is how you get to that. So love that, Stacy. So Two Rivers, and then the other one you said it was up in Angeline as well, right? That's
they're going to be making some big announcements next week, at least to realtors. So I'll get some more information for you next week on Angeline.
Yep. Awesome. And this is going to be another lagoon community, y'all, for those of you that aren't aware. Okay, so Angeline is going to be supported by the Moffitt Cancer Center. They're building a over 700-acre cancer institute up there. Researchers, families, like, I love that. You know, they're going to bring great education to the area, but they're also putting another one of these amazing lagoons up there as well. So that's something to take note of. And then Marcia, they're hot and heavy now down in Sierra as well, correct? Did we lose her? Is there...
Marcia, we can't hear you.
Here. Oh, man. Well, I know we've got some stuff happening down there too. Let me see if I grab it because I know she came prepared. Yeah, there's homes by West Bay that are kicking off down in Sierra as well. And I'll get down and do a video on that soon, guys, for those of you who are interested in the parish.
Yeah, that was one of the communities I wanted to talk about when it's my turn.
Perfect. Yeah. So go ahead, Marcia. It looks like we're a little laggy, but as long as you can hear us, and we'll keep rolling. I'm going to talk about this specifically. Go ahead. We can hear you. Nope. we're losing her. Okay. So sorry for the challenges tonight, y'all. Looks like YouTube's tweaking on us a little bit, or the software is one of the two. Stacy, you can still hear me okay, correct?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure we're good. But Biscayne landing at Sierra. These are homes by West Bay. I'm sorry, this is DRB homes. Forgive me. But Sierra is another one of those amazing lagoon communities that we have up, just like you're getting in Angeline, like we have in Epperson, like we have up in.
Now?
Yes, ma'am. Can
you hear me?
It's a Verizon commercial right now.
Oh, good. Okay. So Biscayne Landing is going to be opening up. Oh, shoot.
We got you. Go ahead. Oh, all right, Marcia. We got to mute you. Poor Marcia. She was trying so hard.
Yeah, I think it's her internet.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening there too. Sorry, y'all, but we'll make sure that we get it right. Bear with us. Things happen. But Biscayne Landing, at Sierra. You got some great semi-custom home builders up in or down in that area, and a lot of opportunity when it comes to these communities. So keep an eye on that. I want to get to some more comments here as well, because they're rolling in now. So guys, feel free to ask the questions, do the things. All right. Jay says, thanks for all the info. Love the Tampa St. Pete area. Well, we love it too. Thanks, Jay. We appreciate that also. Tracy says, I noticed prices have gone up a little and are holding price more now. Do you feel pricing usually goes down after August? The answer to that is yes. That's not a feeling, Tracy. That is absolutely usually, well, let me take a step back. Statistically speaking, that is normal, right? So the peak of pricing and housing sales in the summer is usually July across the United States. And then you'll usually start to see inventory kind of slow down, and asking prices usually slow down with that as well. Okay. So does that mean you're going to see a giant correction in pricing? No. Okay. But you should see a little bit of softening is the way that I would frame that. So that's a great question, Stacy. Thank you for asking. I'll continue to bring you guys more info on that, right? If pricing goes down, we'll make sure you're aware. All right. Jay says, I still can't get over how much all these new developments are even up here in Michigan with virtually no backyard and on top of neighbors. Yeah, Jay, that is the standard, protocol at this point, right? The lot sizes are not large. I mean, even down here, our big homes only go on a 70-foot wide lot, right? Like that's not a wide lot for a 4,000 square foot house. I mean, it's fascinating to me, but they're trying to squeak every dollar and every inch they can into a community. That's reality. You know, those communities with the half acres and stuff, those are gems, man. I'm telling you guys right now, if you have those communities in your market, jump on them, because they're not going to build more properties like that, right? It's really hard to get your hands on them. So that's a really good point, Jay. Tracy says, I'm looking for Circle of Tampa, Dade City, Spring Hill, Clearwater. Got it. Okay. That's a pretty big, that's a very big swath there. You're talking about an hour and a half of drive time. You know, that's a big circle, but thank you for letting us know, Tracy. If we can be of any help, don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. JW says, are there any new communities similar to Waterside at Lakewood Ranch or up and coming? Also, is there anything similar in Pasco County? That's a great question. I love Waterside at Lakewood Ranch. Marcia, you seem like you're with us now. Unmute and talk to me. Let me know if you're there.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
yes. We're just slightly delayed. Go ahead.
Okay. So the unique thing about Waterside is it's on water, and there isn't anything at the moment, but Parish, their North River Ranch, they're building a town, and I believe it's going to have a smaller lake near it.
Yep. So JW, we'll
as far as
you in the mix. Go ahead, Marcia.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated. And then, of course, they're building Sea Air, which will be the lagoon, so that'll be close to water. But the unique thing, again, Waterside is right on water, so it makes it extra special.
Absolutely. It's right on Kings Lake, right,
like
Marcia?
So. I'm sorry?
It's Kings Lake, right? That's the name of the lake?
Kingsfield, I believe. Kingfisher Lake.
Kingfisher, yep. There it is.
Yeah. Yep. Stacy, I don't know if you have areas like that in Pasco.
Yeah, I have to be honest. Lakewood Ranch is really hard to beat. However, Two Rivers is going to be, I think, something similar to some of the neighborhoods in Lakewood Ranch.
They're trying their best. Yeah, they are trying their best. But the
golf course and a restaurant, and some maintenance-free communities. So, land is pretty special.
Yeah,
the Lakewood Ranch.
Yeah, that Lake House Cove community that's right alongside of the lake there and Waterside is, I'm telling y'all, that's I don't know many places that can beat that if you are not on the coast specifically. So it's a great question, though. I love when people are that dialed in. Thanks for the question, JW. We appreciate that.
I was going to talk about a community right there by Kingfisher Lake, but
which one?
I'd rather wait till next week because I'm scared I'm going to get cut off again.
Okay, you got it. We'll put a pause on that because I think she was going to be talking about what Monterey and what was the other
the
one?
Isles, and Isles. Also Emerald Landing, which is right on Kingfisher Lake. But the exciting thing is they're having a grand opening for realtors on Thursday, so I'll have the real skinny on it next week.
So that's the cliffhanger.
Yes, that is a great cliffhanger. Look at Marsha opening up loops like a pro. I love that. Well, ladies, this was awesome. Audience and our faithful, viewers here, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for giving us grace and allowing me to take some time off. I made the decision that I wasn't going to force these ladies to try to handle the technology. I could see they were both anxious about it, and I didn't want to. We really respect your time, right? So we want to make sure that we're mindful of that, and they were anxious, so they were busy out helping clients relocate to the Tampa area. So that's what we were doing, and we're starting to get a lot more local calls too. So as I said earlier, hopefully all that information we shared is helpful for you to help you make a qualified decision about whatever your housing needs or strategy is. If you are interested in potentially selling your home, and there's a lot of people relocating to other states because taxes have gone up here. That's real life, right? And people on fixed incomes have to make those decisions, and that's unfortunate. But if you are considering, our team is here to help. We're happy to serve. If you're considering relocating to the area, just know we love to do that. We've been absolutely blessed to be able to serve so many families over the last few years because of this YouTube channel. And we're grateful for who you are and what you contribute to this community. Feel free to leave me a comment. I respond to all legitimate comments. All right. So what do I mean by that? If you get on and you get rude, I'm not gonna talk about it. Right. I'm not gonna bring it up. But if you have a real question, please don't hesitate to put that in the comments below. And if it's a specific question for Stacy or Marsha, feel free to say, hey, Stacy, hey, Marsha, and I will get that to them. Okay, so they can get connected with you. All of our contact information is on the screen. When you go to our website, you can schedule a Zoom call with me and the team. It goes directly into my calendar. You don't even have to ask. All right, y'all. So feel free to make those connections. Ladies, any final words before we wrap up this evening?
Thanks for joining us again. It was nice to see everyone come back, and I can't wait to next week to hear about Marsha's new communities.
Have to do a presentation, like a formal. What is it people use now for presentations? I can't think of what it's called, but I will have the information on Emerald Landing. It's a cool community, so I'm excited about it. And thank you for your patience, everyone, with our technology tonight. Juan does such a great job of making sure everything is working. And I don't know what happened this evening, but it's something we couldn't fix on our own. So thank you for your patience.
Absolutely, guys. We appreciate you. And we had a couple last comments. I'll end the evening by responding to them. We'll make sure we get that. Agency Corporate says, I'm a new loan officer in Tampa area in Apollo Beach, just moved from New York and would love to connect. Currently renting, but would like to sell my home in New York and buy here. Well, reach out to us, my man. Information is on the screen. Happy to have that conversation. Okay. So that phone number goes directly to this phone here. So you got me if you need me. And again, all of our contact info is on the website as well, and in the description after this call ends. So happy to do that. And then Steven says, Tracy, don't discount unincorporated North Pinellas to Tarpon Springs area. Landed here 3 years ago and have access to TPA and Pine, can avoid bridge choke points into Tampa. Agreed on that, by the way. Love that. It's a great area. And I'm in unincorporated Pinellas as well, Steven. So I feel you, my brother. We're there. And she said, thank you very much. So awesome, guys. We had a wonderful time with you this evening. And as always, we say it every single show, go out and live that Tampa life.
Tampa life. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a great evening, y'all.